Welcome back, friends. Today is day, 12? Oh my gosh, we're so close to being done. And if you missed yesterday's video, I am in a sling. I hurt my elbow or shoulder, whatever this bone is right here. I'm having surgery in a few days, so I'm in a sling. I'm only doing this one-handed, so please excuse that. But you know what? It's not that big of a deal. We can still do it. So if you are enjoying this 14 Days of Sunscreen series so far, please give this video a like, consider subscribing, and just, I don't know, leave me a comment letting you know where you found me. Maybe it was today, maybe it was a previous day, maybe you've been around for a while. I love to hear when people find this channel. And I think with that said, we're gonna jump right in because we've got a fun one today. This is a hybrid sunscreen. This is from Kaine, K-A-I-N. I think the packaging on this one is one of the prettiest that we have. But now, you know, packaging doesn't mean much. We have to actually apply it and see if it's good on my face. So I'm gonna zoom you in and we're gonna get going. Like I said yesterday, I'm gonna be doing all of my normal steps. You're just not gonna be able to see me hold up the sunscreen to put into the 1/4 teaspoon because I only have one hand. But yeah, you know, life is a little difficult with my sling, but I am excited for surgery, which I never thought I would say because it's just painful and I want to be at the point where I am rehabbing it and getting better. But that said, we're not going to talk about my shoulder anymore. We're going to apply this. It is one of the loveliest hybrid textures that I have ever seen. I wish my camera would focus. I can't. All right. There we go. Yeah, the texture of this is incredible. So I want to show you what it looks like rather than just talk about it. So this is the Kaine Green Fit Pro Sun SPF 50 Plus sunscreen. It retails for a little bit more than some of the others. This is $17 when it's on sale. When it's not on sale, it says it's about $22. So like I said, a little bit more expensive. It does have a little bit more product. It says 1.88 fluid ounces, which is 55 milliliters. But again, it's not a substantial amount for a pretty big price difference. This is SPF 50 plus and 4 PAs. So again, very high, pretty much what we have for most of the sunscreens we've covered with a few exceptions, but this is about as high coverage and protection as you can get. So this is a vegan sunscreen and it says it uses chemical and mineral filters. It's also infused with panthenol, hyaluronic acid, and bambusa vulgaris water to hydrate and soothe the irritated skin. So another thing that I love to see is that it says it's sweat resistant. I think that's kind of like water resistant, but I wouldn't necessarily like take this and go swimming in the ocean. But maybe if you are out like playing a sport or on a hot day walking around, it's going to be a little bit more protective just because you can get that water resistance from this, or sweat resistance. I swear the faces that I'm making with one hand, it's fun. Lots of fun faces. Okay, I'm gonna let it sit for a second because sometimes with a mineral or a hybrid sunscreen, you do want to let it sit and just kind of soak in. And I'm gonna go wash my one hand. I'll be back. Okay, as far as the actual finish, as you can see, I waited about 5 minutes before or after applying before I really like talk through what it looks like. There's a bit of a cast. It's definitely there on my like light medium skin type. If you have a deeper skin tone than light medium, you're probably going to see a more pronounced white cast, but it's not the worst by any stretch. Like I would be okay probably leaving the house with just this and no makeup on. It's probably not ideal for me, but if you have a lighter skin tone, it's going to be just fine on you. But that cast does kind of dissipate throughout the day, especially if you see this is just 5 minutes later. If I give it a little bit more time, it'll be pretty much gone. So it's not at all the worst, and I'm not going to say that this is something like I don't recommend. I think this is going to work for a lot of people, and if you are one of those people, because I know there are a lot, who really loves a hybrid sunscreen, this is going to be one of the better ones that I've tried, and I've tried quite a few. As far as the finish, it's not, I've seen some people say that it's matte, and I don't get that at all. Maybe if you do have drier skin, it'll be a little bit more matte on you, but for me, it feels like a pretty normal Korean skin or sunscreen. I've got quite a bit of a glow. It's sunken in, which is nice because sometimes when I apply a mineral sunscreen, like 100% mineral, it just sits on top of the skin. But because this is hybrid and it's got chemical and mineral filters, it does sink in a little bit better on my skin type. This one kind of reminds me of some of the others that I've applied that kind of have a little bit of a pearlescence to it. So instead of it just looking like a white cast from zinc oxide, it kind of has a little bit more of that, like I just said, pearlescence. So I think this is a really good one, and I've used it under makeup quite a bit. Kind of a primer sunscreen where you're gonna get a little bit of a glow, a little pearlescence, maybe a little bit of like a silvery champagne-y kind of underglow. And if you are somebody who likes that type of thing, this is gonna be a really, really good option. For me, it's not the one that I reach for day in, day out, but I also, every time I apply it, I'm like, this is crazy that this is hybrid, because I've tried so many hybrid ones and usually they tend to be not my favorite because the white cast is just too pronounced. And this one, I feel like I kind of forget that it is hybrid and I apply it and I'm like, okay, maybe a little makeup, a little bronzer, and I'll be fine. But what I love to do with this, and sunscreens that do have a little bit of a cast, is I apply this as my sunscreen, and then I use one of my many bronzing drops. I've got quite a few over here, and I can only, hold them with one hand. But I've got the Deep Bronzy. I really like this one from INNBEAUTY Project. And you just need a little tiny amount, rub it around on your hands, put it on your face, and you are glowy. And you can cancel out any white cast without actually having to put makeup on. It's just kind of an easy look for, if you're just going about your day and you don't want to do the whole makeup thing. So that's kind of my recommended use for it. As far as the skin types that I recommend this, I think this is going to be good for pretty much all skin types. I would say for oily skin, if you want something that's really more matte and mattifying, this is not the one. So I would say like normal to dry, you're going to be fine with it. You either need to like layer up with a moisturizer before, or if you have more normal skin like me, this is all you need. But again, if you are oily, you're usually looking for something that dries down matte, and this is not it. It's not going to make you the most glowy, but I just don't know why you would go for this one when there are other options that are more meant for oily skin. As far as irritation and eye sting, none for me. I don't think I've gotten irritation from any of the Korean or Japanese sunscreens, but I always like to say, like, just because I don't get it, it doesn't mean you won't. But they tend to be a little bit less irritating for people's skin and eyes. So that's another one. I mean, this is, I feel like a little bit more of kind of a middle ground, not my favorite, not the worst, but some really easy ways with those bronzing drops to make it just look pretty much natural on your face. And I can show you, I might as well right now, right? I'm gonna use the INNBEAUTY Project because this brand is one of my favorites. And I'm really gonna just do a little, since I can't mix it on my hand, I'm gonna have to mix it on my face. But you'll see what I mean by just a teeny tiny amount. Maybe not enough, but. And you can use it as kind of like a bronzer and just do the outer edges of your face, or you can put it all over and it looks great. Let me get my neck. For me, it's always the edges that I forget about. But things are much, much harder with just one hand, I will say. But look at that. Like, I went from having a little bit of a white cast to looking very, very normal. And, that's all you need. So I will link my favorites below, but this is definitely a standout for me. And this is what I would do if I was just gonna run out of the house and I didn't want to wear makeup. Just a little bit of that and you're good to go. So I feel like I am looking a little disheveled right now, but it is what it is. So I will end day 12 there and I will be back for day 13. Oh, we're getting so close to the end. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.